Notes from my May 2024 reading of Unfinished Memoir by Priyanka Chopra Jonas. So, this is an autobiography / memoir on actress Priyanka Chopra Jonas. And it's a 2021 Ballantine Books edition hardcover. I'll put the ISBN in the video description. I started reading this book on Saturday, 10 May 2024, somewhere in the world. And finished the book today, somewhere in the world. Planet Earth, the original. On Wednesday, 15 May 2024, I am Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. And I filmed this video already, and it was almost 17 minutes. I might have been having problems with videos that are longer than 15 minutes in uploading, so we're redoing this, and I already took my sticky notes out of the book, so I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's the introduction. Yeah. Let's go on to book notes, including construction and design. It's hardcover. The pages have more text to them. It's closer to 1.25 or 1.5 spacing. The text is medium size, neither small nor large. Name of the author and name of the book are at the tops of the pages along with page numbers. Stylistically, it's chapters with a space with a design between the spaces throughout the chapters, like this. So there's a little emblem, and it's like, some of them it kind of comes across as like mic drop, or think about what I just said, or take a break, which I kind of like always interpreted as chapters, but not always, because I don't know. Autobiographies are turning to be a little bit different, and than some of the books I've read previously in my life. But a lot of the autobiographies and biographies I'm reading are like more recent books. So there we go. Yes. There is italicized font. I guess something a little different between the last filming of this and this one. Some of the lists, there are typographical errors in terms of the commas are italicized along with the names of productions. And so that, because the comma is not part of the name of Baywatch, right? For example, the comma should not be italicized. So little things, right? Like, okay, but if it's not Baywatch, comma, it's Baywatch, that kind of thing. There's 2 insets with visuals. One towards the beginning of the book, one further back in the book, which she does have a picture attribution, but she just gives herself credit. She says author's personal collection, but it looks like they're kind of professional pictures, which I thought, as somebody who has taken pictures and like rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, I was like, well, if you're gonna put photo credits, why not put the photographer's name? Not say it's from my personal collection, but that's like a personal choice, right? That's what would be a taste, right, kind of thing. So she might not have much experience with taking pictures and that kind of stuff, or just doesn't really care, right, about who took the picture. It's her picture because it's her book, you know, that kind of thing, which kind of matches the tone of the person a bit throughout the book. And so, book notes. Is there anything else? It was 243 pages, including the About the Author section. Reading notes. She's an actress, and that seems to be kind of a current theme that kind of ties her whole life story together. Though it kind of starts in Hollywood of India, Bollywood. And the role she gets because she won a pageant, a beauty pageant, which her brother, she didn't actually apply for. Her brother sent in materials without her knowing. So essentially her entire career, and she actually brings it up in the acknowledgement section, is like, to my brother who started it all, because he sends in her application or her materials for a beauty pageant, which she does and wins and snowballs, and she continues doing better. And then because she wins a certain pageant and or pageants, she gets roles in movies, and then that escalates to further career growth, right? And so it just keeps building, but the butterfly flapping its wings was her younger brother. She had one brother, 7 years younger, who sends in the material without her knowing, right? He didn't ask for permission, he just sent it. So essentially this person's entire life career, like professional career, can be attributed to her brother's, you know, starting of rolling of the snowball, or a butterfly flapping its wings. So it was like, there's a different thing. It's very different than like my family growing up and my family's kind of histories. We didn't do that to each other. My dad would have shut that down. Yeah. And or did. No doing that kind of stuff. You guys got to do it yourself. Yeah. And yes. I had bookmark stuff. Is there anything? Oh, she points out that her wedding dress was at page 208. Do I remember one of them? And then there was the italicized lists I picked up on page 36 and 168, where like there's italic names and commas, but only the names need to be italicized. 208 was, she brings up that the wedding dress she wore when she married Nick Jonas was the 4th wedding dress Ralph Lauren had ever made, and the first for someone outside his family. I thought that was it's a good example of something mature to include, right? She's accepting of the number 4 in her life and the significance for her wedding gown, and also includes like, but also context of first outside of his own family, which I thought was good. Some people would just highlight the first outside of his family, so I thought it was mature for her to be like, before that it's number 4, right? Some people would just kind of overbuild themselves, but she did not do that. I would give this a 3.5 out of 5. One, there's like the photo credit kind of stuff, but that isn't the minus 1.5 is more of I only knew of this person because of clips of interviews and her appearances on talk shows that I saw on YouTube. So it's a little bit of a YouTube specific. I wouldn't know this person existed if it weren't for YouTube. And specifically, so her guest appearances in interviews in games or whatever, like with Jimmy Fallon. But aside from that, I had no idea like what she did. Okay, I do, and it's not her. Why? I do not watch television. The last time I had a TV of my own was when I was living with my parents before I went off to college. So like, 2010 or before. I had like this small little TV that came from like my room, a box TV. That was then upstairs and then got replaced by something. But like, so it's been a while since I've actually watched TV, and I had like Hulu for a while after I moved out, thinking about that, okay, and Amazon Prime, but I kind of weaned off of television about actually, interesting enough, when she took off. So there's like somebody who was like, essentially I tuned out of all television and then she started taking off. It was like, it's good. I'm happy I chose this book, right? Because now of all of that, the one person I know something about of everything I missed is Priyanka Chopra Jonas. So there we go. Yeah. So now I know. But where's this going with the, why is it a 3.5 out of 5 if I learn something? Because she doesn't really do a good job of taking it to like, I have not ever had a Netflix account of my own, and the only time we had Netflix was with like the DVDs, like when we were younger, for a brief period of time. So Netflix isn't my thing. So like there's a lot of stuff she just kind of brings up and it comes across as like presumptive, or assumptions are made that the reader knows what she's talking about. But for those of us who haven't tuned in for, I'm filming this Wednesday, 15 May 2024. For those of us who haven't tuned in for over a decade, some context would have been appreciated. So lacking in context of her kind of television pursuits specifically, I'll give it 3.5. So somebody who's stayed up to date with her career, or knows her career or something like that, might give it 5 out of 5, but because I didn't have that, there was no scaffolding provided, so to speak, for those of us who are not following the industry as a whole, in any country. Yeah, so there we go. Except for YouTube, but this is not YouTube. This is the film, television industry. So there we go. In conclusion, please let this be short enough.